Have you ever wondered why we are so irresistibly drawn to grabbing a couple of cold drinks on a Friday night? Spoiler alert, the real reason has absolutely nothing to do with modern supermarket advertising. The true history of human drinking goes back tens of millions of years, long before we ever invented language, writing, or even the first campfire. Scientists actually take this seriously and call it the drunken monkey hypothesis. Our distant evolutionary ancestors constantly feasted on overripe, naturally fermenting fallen fruits. And yes, they regularly got completely hammered long before human civilization even existed. Mother Nature herself was accidentally serving up weak alcohol disguised as a calorie-packed sweet treat. Alcohol smelled like pure calories, sugar, and high-energy survival to them. Our brains were literally hardwired by evolution to track down that specific fermented scent. As time passed, we climbed down from the trees and stepped out into the open world. Life suddenly became brutally cold, harsh, and filled with non-stop mortal stress. And that is when nature handed us our very first major chemical plot twist. Accidental wild fermentation of honey, water, and crushed forest berries. The absolute first primitive mead tasting session in human history. Just imagine the absolute state of these guys after taking their very first sip of fermented brew. The very first prehistoric party in history was definitely a massive success. Today, archaeologists find chemical traces of ancient booze everywhere from China to Europe. And no, ancient humans definitely did not wait for the invention of writing to start drinking. They were burying giant clay fermentation pots thousands of years before the Egyptian pyramids. That very first experimental wine batch was miles away from sophisticated modern store bottles. Sure, it was full of insects, sediment, and dirt, but the end result was totally worth it. Alcohol quickly transformed into the ultimate tool for contacting ancestral spirits. Shamans chugged it down to slip into trances and bridge the gap with the supernatural world. Ancient rock art across the globe preserves countless visual proofs of these early rituals. Of course, every single legendary celebration always comes with a brutal price tag. The very first recorded human hangover in history struck right after that first party. 0 painkiller pills existed back then, just a freezing stream and an angry tribal chief. But even that horrific morning after pain didn't stop our ancestors for even a second. The real, massive global turning point arrived when humans finally invented agriculture. Everyone assumes ancient crops were cultivated purely to bake bread and stave off starvation. But the historical reality turned out to be far more cynical and hilarious. People started farming massive fields of grain specifically to brew liquid happiness. They wanted a drinkable liquid bread that could keep the party going endlessly. That was the exact moment the world's very first mass-produced beer was born. Just look at the oldest known temple complexes like Göbekli Tepe. The builders of ancient monuments literally worked for daily rations of beer and bread. In ancient Egypt, thick beer served as an official state currency and daily wage. Chugging your daily wage on the royal pyramid construction site made the hard labor much more bearable. Even mighty pharaohs enjoyed kicking back with the local fermented brew, though drinking it through a long straw wasn't done for fashion or luxury. It was because filtering technology simply hadn't caught up to human cravings yet. That ancient drink was essentially a meal and a party drink combined into one single cup. Alcohol spread like wildfire across the expanding borders of human civilization. The ancient Greeks turned wine consumption into an art form of intense philosophy and loud debates, though even they strictly diluted their wine with water, considering unmixed drinking an act for barbarians. Surviving historical artifacts prove that drinking rules literally shaped early societal laws. Getting sloppy drunk on military duty or public office brought brutal and swift penalties. But northern tribes completely ignored southern civilized rules. For fierce Vikings, massive feasts and strong ales formed the absolute core meaning of earthly life. Valhalla itself was envisioned as an eternal hall of endless drinking and feasting. During the Middle Ages, Christian monks actually saved and perfected the art of brewing. They brewed exceptionally strong ales to survive long, freezing religious fasts. Officially dubbed liquid bread, so nobody upstairs could complain. The local tavern quickly became the beating heart of every medieval town and village. Monarchs quickly realized that taxing alcohol could fund entire kingdoms. Heavy excise taxes on beer and wine built stone castles and financed continental wars. Centuries flew by, tech evolved, but human habits remained stubbornly fixed. Our core biology has stayed completely unchanged since the Stone Age. The design of the glass changed, but the ancient urge remained identical. Alcohol instantly hacks the exact same reward pathways in our brains today as it did back then. We often drink not for the taste, but to mute the crushing stress of the modern world. It remains the ultimate social glue, uniting people around modern bars just like ancient campfires. What started as a messy accident in jungle tree branches has become one of the most powerful underlying forces in human history. Every single discovery, every law, and every celebration was fueled by this shared human bond. Our deep history is permanently written in the science of fermentation. So the next time you pour yourself a glass, just remember you are continuing a direct tradition stretching back 10 million years, and our ancient ancestors would definitely approve of your choice tonight. Just remember to know your limits and avoid waking up with a stone axe in your head. Drink wisely, protect your brain cells, and keep your history clear. Thank you for watching this deep historical dive into human nature. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss our next evolutionary secrets. Make sure to check out other fascinating videos right here on the channel. Smash that notification bell and drop a like if you learned something mind-blowing today. Your ongoing support helps us build even more incredible historical stories for you. All scientific studies and historical sources are fully linked down in the video description. We read every single comment, so drop your thoughts down below. Human history is packed with endless bizarre mysteries, and we will keep uncovering them together with you every single week. Stay curious, take care of yourselves, and keep exploring. We will see you in the very next video. See you later. You know, researching this video honestly blew my mind. We often think of alcohol as just a modern vice, but history shows it literally shaped our civilization, from ancient campfires to building the pyramids. It makes you realize how much of our daily habits are tied to 10 million years of evolution. I really hope you enjoyed this deep dive with Faded Echoes. Drop a comment below, and until next time, stay curious.